one of the most influential and complex sagas in the history of video games. A story about clones, betrayal, patriotism, and the ghosts that haunt their creators. The Metal Gear series, created by the genius Hideo Kojima, is a labyrinth where it's easy to get lost. But today, we will walk through it from beginning to end. This is the chronology of the Metal Gear world. The era of the legend, Big Boss. Our story begins not in the future, but in the past. The year is 1964, the height of the Cold War. Fox unit agent codenamed Naked Snake is sent into the Soviet jungles on a mission to rescue the scientist Sokolov. But the operation turns into a disaster. His mentor, the legendary The Boss, whom he idolized, defects to the enemy and launches a nuclear missile. Snake is now ordered to eliminate her. He goes through fire and water, fights the Cobra unit, and in a final duel on a field of flowers, he carries out his order. But the truth is shocking, the Boss was a double agent. Her death is a sacrifice for her country, to prevent a war. She is the true patriot. And Snake, receiving the title of Big Boss, becomes a living symbol of her betrayal. A fire of hatred for the system that used them both ignites in his heart. Consumed by anger, Big Boss leaves the Patriots, the secret organization behind everything, and creates Militaires Sans Frontières, Soldiers Without Borders. His dream is to build Outer Heaven, a world where soldiers choose their own fate. But his past haunts him. He confronts a copy of the Boss in the form of an AI, faces betrayal, and in the final mission in Afghanistan and Africa in 1984, we learn the shocking truth: the protagonist of Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, is not the real Big Boss, but his double, Venom Snake. He was created to divert attention while the Real John, Big Boss, builds his outer heaven in the shadows. The era of the clone, Solid Snake. The 90s arrive. The real Big Boss, playing a double game, commands the Foxhound unit. Meanwhile, a rebellion breaks out in his state, Outer Heaven. To suppress it, he sends a young agent, his own clone, Solid Snake. Snake successfully destroys the Metal Gear weapon and, to his horror, learns that the leader of the rebels was his commander, Big Boss. He kills him, or so he thinks. Years later, in Zanzibar land, history repeats itself. Snake once again confronts Big Boss and this time achieves a final, brutal victory over him. But the shadow of his tyrannical father looms over him once more. In 2005, terrorists led by Liquid Snake, another clone, his brother, seize a nuclear facility. Solid Snake is forced to return. In an epic confrontation, he destroys Metal Gear REX, faces a cyborg ninja, and betrayal at every turn. Before dying, Liquid reveals the truth to him: they are both just clones, genetic garbage, created for war. The era of the Successor, Raiden and the system. It seemed like the end. But the Patriots are still alive. In 2007, Snake, now a member of the organization Philanthropy, tries to stop the sale of a new Metal Gear, but he is framed, and the world believes he is dead. In 2009, a new incident unfolds. A young agent, Raiden, is sent to the Big Shell platform to stop terrorists. But this turns out to be a grand simulation, a spectacle staged by the Patriots. Raiden is a pawn in an experiment to control information and society. He is revealed the horrifying truth: the Patriots are no longer people, but a system of artificial intelligences that has entangled the entire world in digital chains. Solid Snake, appearing at the crucial moment, gives Raiden the most important advice: be yourself. Find something worth living for. The final battle, Guns of the Patriots. The year is 2014. The world is plunged into proxy wars. The economy relies on endless conflicts controlled by the Patriots. Solid Snake, now Old Snake, is rapidly aging. His final mission is to kill Liquid Ocelot, who has united all the world's private armies under his command. But Ocelot is not driven by a thirst for power. He wants to destroy the Patriot system, to break it by gaining complete control over the world's weapons. Snake, bleeding, overcoming pain. Follows on his heels through the Middle East, South America, and Eastern Europe. He learns that he has become a biological weapon, and his final duty is not to survive, but to save the world. In an epic battle on a submarine fortress, to the sound of music from all the previous games, Snake defeats Liquid Ocelot. A virus, created by the genius Sunny, destroys the Patriots' AI. The system has fallen. Epilogue, reconciliation. It seemed the story was over. But at the cemetery where the boss is buried, Snake is met by the last ghost of the past. Big Boss. He is alive. He has come to tell his son the whole truth and ask for forgiveness. He explains that Fox-Die will no longer kill Snake, and that he is finally free. This is good. Isn't it? Big Boss's last words. He dies on his mentor's grave, having atoned for his guilt. And Solid Snake, gifted with a few more months of life, sets off on his final journey, not as a soldier, but as a man, to finally see the world he saved. Conclusion. The story of Metal Gear is not just a chronicle of wars and technology. It is a story about how ideals turn into nightmares, how soldiers become tools, and how tools gain humanity. It is a story that even in a world full of shadows and control, there is always room for choice, forgiveness, and hope. This was the saga of snakes, bosses, and patriots. Thank you for being a part of it.